4 antique dining room chairs in. The seats have collapsed on them. You can see there how that's sunk in. This is actually the better one of the 4. Some of the others were really bad. Now, I've finished these 3. I'm going to show you what to do on this. And what's happened with them is, over the years, it's gone, the seats, the webbing and the Hessian's gone underneath, so you can see there. And all the packing started to fall out. So what's happened is, the customer's still been sitting on this. So what happens then is it stretches the leather. So then this needs boosting up. These seats would have been quite flat, not really domed, but because the leather's been stretched and no support underneath it, I'm going to have to dome it up. Customer doesn't want to take any of this leather off. They want to keep the original leather, they want to keep the studs. So there's only one way of doing this, and that is, if I turn this chair over, I'll show you what's going on underneath here. So what you've got here now is the underneath of the chair. So you've got the webbing that's broken, the Hessian split, and the coir is starting to come through. So to support this, the only way of doing it, keeping all this in place, is this method. So what I'm going to do is, first, a piece of foam. Now I've cut this to shape, and that just fits in there. That's going to boost the seat up and give it a domed effect. So then after that, a piece of wood. So this piece of wood, I've cut it to shape, and this just fits into here. So that fits in there, and that's pushing the foam up and giving the seat some shape. Now obviously that piece of wood there is not going to stay in place. That will drop out when you come to work, come to sit on it. So if you sat on that, that piece of wood would fall out. So the easy way now, got some little battens that I've cut. So what I'll do with these battens now, some screws. So I've cut these and pre-drilled them. So I'm just going to get some glue on it. So this one here, I've cut, the longer one, goes on the front. That goes in place. So when it's in there, push down on the batten. So that's one in place. Let's wipe the excess glue off that. So I've got another batten I've cut for the back. Again, I've put a couple of screws in it. Some glue on it. Just turn the chair over for this one. Again, same procedure as I did on the front, just push the batten up so it pushes the seat and the board up. Right, so I've put the last of the buttons on that now. I'll turn it over and show you. So you can see there now, that's what sort of effect you've got. You've got a dome seat, there's some foam underneath that. It's given plenty of support, but it's given these 4 chairs a new lease of life. This is by no means cheating. It's the only method of saving these chairs and saving the original leather and packing. So if you've got something like this, that's an easy way to repair it. All I've got to do now is just put a bottom on this, which will just hide that wooden base. And it's given these chairs a new lease of life. This is what the chairs are like now they're finished. And this is the underside of it. So you can see the board. And that's supporting the foam and the webbing that's all broken underneath. So these battens now are glued and screwed in place onto the frame, supporting all that. So just to hide that, I'm going to put a bottom on. This is a standard type of bottom we use on most furniture. So all I'm going to do with this, fold it over at the front. Couple of staples in it like that. So you can see now what that's starting to look like. So this is the last bit of the bottom now. You can see there now how much that's tidied up the bottom of the chair, the underneath of it. So that's all 4 chairs now completed, usable again. And, you know, if they look after them, that leather's good enough that it'll last them another 100 years, those.